All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Saturday night cash race hosted by Cash Motorsports, the biggest track, the fastest speeds, the closest racing in motorsports. Today at the legendary Talladega Speedway, drivers will put everything on the line for a goal to survive the draft, avoid the chaos, and cash in when the checkered flag falls. 30 laps, one super speedway, and one winner. Welcome, race fans, to Saturday Night Cash, hosted by Cash Motorsports, and coming to you live from one of the most iconic venues in all of motorsports. The stakes are high, the payouts are real, and the competition is fierce as drivers prepare to battle 3 and 4 wide at nearly 200 miles an hour around the fastest track on the schedule. Today's event is made possible by our outstanding partners, Admin Box, helping racing communities stay organized and competitive; Blind Squirrel Racing, built on determination, teamwork, and speed; and Raleigh's Resto Rods, where quality craftsmanship and performance come together. At Talladega, teamwork can carry you to the front, but in an instant, one bad push, one mistimed block, or one wrong move can trigger the big one, and everything can change. Who will find the right racing draft partners tonight? Who will survive the chaos, and who will be standing in victory lane with the cash when it's all over? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jamie G, and we're ready to bring you every lap, every lead change, and every heart-stopping moment from Talladega. Drivers, start your engines. Race fans, buckle up. The money is on the line, and the field is ready. And Saturday Night Cash from Talladega starts right now. As it looks like these guys are in the middle of qualifying right at the moment. Nobody's actually put down a solid lap quite yet, but as we can see, we have about looks like 21 drivers on the track tonight. Got a nice field out there going on, so we're gonna see who's gonna bring home the cash for tonight's Saturday Night Cash race. All right, well, as we get down to it, a lot of names we've already seen before: Derek Raleigh, Shane Hatfield, Cody Baumeister, Joshua McCullough. It looks like a new name that I haven't seen: Justin Smith, Gerard Essenberg, Cody Baumeister. Oh, they're switching positions. Whoops, I'm trying to go down a list that's currently constantly changing, but it looks like a few of them have already come off the track. We do have a few out there still, but it looks like Michael Brown currently taking the pole here at Talladega in that number 11. Derek Raleigh is currently sitting in second place with a 70 in that 71, but it looks like Kenneth McCullough Jr., our last week's winner, actually just took the pole in that 03 car, so that's going to push everybody back a little bit. John Ward in the 92. He's currently sitting in fourth. Joe Conan in the 72, sitting in fifth. James Waring in sixth. Joseph Essenberg in seventh. Michael Barksdale in eighth. And Craig Robbins in ninth. Leading out our top 10 is going to be Justin Smith in the 067. But that looks like that's it for qualifying. Oh, we do have a couple guys still out on the track. Cody Baumeister is still trying to run. He may put down a decent time. Charlie Morgan still out here as well in that number 69. Dwayne Drummond, he's currently out here in that number 41. Aubrey Thompson also out here still in the number 56. And oh, nice Wonder Bread car, by the way. Shake and bake. And last but not least, Larry McDonald is still out on the track in the number 80. As we get down to it, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Cody Baumeister did step it up. He brought himself all the way up to third in the qualifying laps. Aubrey Thompson also jumping up the list a little bit into currently seventh. Charlie Morgan brings himself up to second place. He will be on the outside of the pole tonight. Dwayne Drummond is still out on the track. Only a couple left, actually, to finish out qualifying, and then we're going to get to grid. That is going to be it for Dwayne Drummond. He's going to be jumping up to 13th. Carl Lingle. Oh, Carl didn't get to finish his, but in that number 30, it looks like he's currently sitting in last place right now. And it looks like 24 drivers actually on the track. My apologies. Colby Krill did not get to qualify. Ambrose Sneebel did not qualify. And Daniel Holdcraft, I do not think, qualified. But that's all right. As we grid up, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with our national anthem. We'll see you back with hot action on the track here at Talladega for the next gen Cup cars for Saturday Night Cash.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's go ahead and start off with our scrolling grid. On that first row, Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Charlie Morgan. Second row is going to be Michael Brown and Cody Baumeister. Row 3, Derek Raleigh and John Ward. Row 4, Aubrey Thompson and Joe Conan. Row 5, James Waring and Joseph Essenberg. Row 6, Michael Barksdale and Craig Robbins. Row 7, Dwayne Drummond and Justin Smith. Row 8, Shane Hatfield and Larry McDonald. Row 9, Gerard Essenberg and Keith Haley. Row 10, Joshua McCullough and Dustin Cohen. Daniel Holdcraft and Ambrose Niebel on row 11. Row 12, Carl Lingle and Kobe Nill. And that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. We are gridded up, we are moving, and the green flag will be dropping soon. Thank you all again for showing up tonight. It's going to be an amazing race out here at Talladega. Always super fun to be out here with Cash Motorsports for the Saturday Night Cash races. These guys are going to do a great job. Only a few cautions last race. Coming home with the win as a 1-2 team, the McCulloughs are actually going to be a little separated this time. Josh McCullough is sitting currently back in 19th, whereas in our last week winner is going to be on the pole in that 03. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Pace car off the track. We're going back to the restart zone. Green flag. Here we go. Going to be a battle between Charlie Morgan and Kenneth McCullough. My apologies. Again, Kenneth McCullough winning last week's race, being pushed to the win by his dad. A little bit of a wiggle. Let's see who can get the best line formed out. Last week we seen the top line going up against that wall on the outside. We seen that last week as our like go-to that was actually leading the race. It does look like that outside line is building a little bit with that number 69 of Charlie Morgan with Cody Baumeister sitting right behind him. James Waring and Joe Cronin now pushing up. John Ward in the 92 on the bottom side getting a great push by that number 95. We have a caution out, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like it's involving Michael Brown and a couple other vehicles, maybe possibly Derek Raleigh as well. Not what we wanted to see so early, but they're going to shake the cobwebs off and get back out there. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened. 3 wide coming across the finish line, 067 with the 505 in the middle. Also got that 56 Wonderbread car sitting right there. Let's see where all the chaos actually started. I did see a car go sideways right before that, right after that caution came out, so I don't know if he was fully involved, but the person that went furthest back, it looked like, was Michael Brown. Oh, yeah, right there with the number 11 and the 72. 72 hitting the wall hard right there. Bunch of damage on that 72, losing that quarter panel. 12 involved in that, getting a little bit of damage on that front end. Let's take it back and see if we can see. Yeah, it looks like the 72 coming down into the 11, unfortunately. Coming off of that middle line. He was going to be right there behind the number 20 of Cody Baumeister. I don't think it was a bad push from the 067. 067 looked like he was fine. Justin Smith. Yeah, just really unfortunate. 72 coming down a little bit too far. 11 couldn't avoid it. 72 looks like 72 catching the most damage off of that accident right there, destroying that right front of that car. Huge wheel damage right there. As you can see, the front right tire is just sitting sideways, but an inconvenience for the number 12. He may not have so much damage on there. Glad to see not a lot of cars were actually involved in that. But let's go ahead and go back live, and looks like everybody's actually currently pitting right now. Black flag for Gerard Essenberg. Not sure what that was for. Might have been something to do with speeding in the pits, possibly, or a pit exit. No, it's definitely coming in, so most likely speeding in the pits. We're seeing all these guys come back out now. Looks like John Ward beating most of the drivers out onto the field. Still got a couple cars in there. It's going to be Michael Brown. Carl Lingle just coming out. Michael Brown is now out. Larry McDonald still in the pits. Gerard Essenberg in the pits with that black flag. Daniel Holdcraft as well in that number 31. Have not come back out of the pit lane yet. Let's go ahead and go to the top. See where this is going to line up. First car out, John Ward makes a big move off of that pit stop right there. Comes out in first place. 69 of Charlie Morgan in second. James Waring in third in that number 95. Up 15 spots. Josh McCullough. That is going to be a good position for him. But up 15 spots after that. Cody Baumeister is going to be sitting in fifth. Dwayne Drummond is in sixth. Aubrey Thompson now currently sits in seventh, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Aubrey is a female, so I'm going to say she came out exactly where she started in seventh. Derek Raleigh is in eighth. Craig Robinson in third, up 3 spots. and Joseph Essenberg sitting currently in 10th. That pushes Kenneth McCullough Jr. to the back a little bit. It looks like he is coming back into pit lane, unfortunately. Not sure what's going on with him. But Gerard Essenberg, with that black flag now cleared, he will be staying on the lead lap. Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Larry McDonald both actually into pit lane. Must have some technical issues. We'll have to figure that out. That's going to be a battle for the 69 and the 92 up front. 92 of John Ward, 69 of Charlie Morgan. Going to see what they can do on this restart. Who can form that best line? That's really what it's going to come down to, ladies and gentlemen, is who can form the best line, who can stay in a straight line without swinging what we call snaking back and forth. Whoever can accomplish that is going to be able to push up to the front. We're only 4 laps into this, so we got a lot of racing left. There's an opportunity for anybody to come up to the front and steal the cash away. Man, I like that Wonder Bread car. That thing is beautiful. A lot of great looking cars out here tonight. Got that Dega Pros 69 Toyota. Got that Bad Fast 92 Toyota. Those are looking pretty sharp. 95 is looking pretty sharp too. The 95 of James Waring. I think that was the same paint they had on last week. He's going to be in that Mustang. Man, I love me a Mustang. Those things are gorgeous. Those dark horses are beautiful. Two Camrys going to lead us off to the front here. Pace car diving off the track. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to the green flag almost. Going to the restart zone. Restart should be on the leader. There it is. Huge jump for the 92 of John Ward. Beautiful job. 69 keeping right up with him, not letting him go anywhere. 69 now up to the lead. Let's see if he can make that outside line work with the 05. 05 of Joshua McCullough. They're going to have to stay in line. I wouldn't be pushing too hard this early, but those 3 cars on the outside, the 69, 05, and 41, all pushing really hard. Tail to nose right there. 41 of Dwayne Drummond. And I think I was confused earlier. I think I said McCullough Jr. was the winner, but I believe McCullough Jr. is the one that pushed his son Joshua McCullough up to the front. I believe I got that right. But Josh McCullough currently sitting in 4th place in that number 05. He's going to be on the, looks like outside in that middle section behind the number 69. Nice little tap from the 05 to the 69. That's going to put John Ward, he moves up top in front of that 69 to lead the charge of that outside line. Looks like that outside line has got it together. These guys are going to have to be careful though, pushing too hard. You do not want to push the pusher because it does cause many issues. There you go. That's the separation you sort of want to see. That's going to keep him up there as the 92 drops back down in front of the 95 of James Waring. James Waring trying to push forward with that bottom line being pushed by the number 20. The number 20 of Cody Baumeister. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a race. Getting a little exciting going to the back end here. The number 31 of Daniel Holcraft trying to jump outside. Oh! Oh no, James Ward. Was that James Ward involved in that? No, I don't think it was. I think that was Charlie Morgan, maybe? Yeah, Charlie Morgan in that number 69 Vegas Pro car. Huge contact right there. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, huge wheel damage for the number 69. And that's what we were talking about. You got to be careful on these tracks. You don't want to start pushing really hard too early just to stay up front, because there's plenty time to get up front. But the 05 right behind the 69 looks like they get offset a little bit right there, but they're starting to even out. Got that 41 right behind the 95. Let's see what happens. Or that 05, sorry. 41 behind the 05. Yeah, huge offset right there. Just catches that back end. 69 right up into the wall. Super hard. I'll be surprised if he can actually get that back to the pits. It doesn't look like any other vehicle was involved in that accident right there. But that's going to be huge damage for that 69 of Charlie Morgan. Really unfortunate for him. I'm hoping that he's going to have that fast repair sitting in his pocket. He's going to need it after that one. Oh, he blew his engine. No way. Is he going to be able to roll back to the pits? I don't know. Let's keep a watchful eye on him for a minute. I don't hear that engine at all. It does sound like he did blow that engine. He may have to tow out. That is not going to be good. If he can get as close as he can to the pits, it will reduce that tow timer. But that, oh man, that wheel is completely sideways. Yeah, he's not going to make it, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to have to pull off and tow out. But the closer he gets, the shorter it actually is. Charlie Morgan jumping to the pits after a great start to this race, unfortunately, with a bad push from the 05 from behind. Here we go, as all these cars do come back down into pit road. Everybody coming off now. Looks like the winner of that one was going to be Cody Baumeister. He is going to be sitting up front right now, currently in that number 20 Interstate Toyota. Kenneth McCullough Jr. sitting right behind him. That's going to leave John Ward in third and Josh McCullough in fourth. That's going to put the McCulloughs pretty close together. They are going to be, it looks like, right behind each other. They pushed each other to the win last week as a 1-2 set. See if they can do it again this week. It's going to be good for them to stay up front, but you really got to be careful with those offset pushes. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in that 03. He's going to be sitting on the outside of the number 20, Cody Baumeister. Looks like the number 92 is going to be sitting right there behind the number 20, 92 of John Ward. Leading out our top five currently is James Waring in the 95. Number 6 is going to be Dwayne Drummond. 7th, Derek Raleigh back up into the top 10. Aubrey Thompson. Looks like Raleigh dropping down into the pits, unfortunately. Not sure what's going on. But Aubrey Thompson in 7th currently. Craig Robbins in 8th. Ambrose Niebel in 9th. And Joseph Essenberg in 10th. Go ahead and take a look at some of our race info tonight. Looks like partly cloudy. Air temp is currently 78 degrees. Track temp 96 degrees with a 2 mile an hour northbound wind. Surface currently going to be dry. Obviously, we're out here at Talladega Super Speedway, 2.66 miles. Man, these guys are killing it so far. Additional sets of tires. Looks like, I believe they have unlimited tires, so that should be changed. But yeah, doing great so far. Super proud of these guys coming out and putting down a hell of an effort and a hell of a show. Thank you all once again for being here. We're about to go back green flag racing here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's going to come down to the battle of who can keep a straighter line. Those straight lines mean everything on these draft tracks. And again, I would not be pushing so hard so early. Just causes simple mistakes, like we seen on that last caution, unfortunately. But these guys are going to give it another try as we come around turn 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, we're going to see that pace car drop back down, and we're going to get back to green flag action here at Cash Motorsports. Pace car off the track. Here we go, back to the restart zone. Restart on the leader, number 20. Green flag is out. A little bit of a late start on that bottom line from the number 20 of Cody Baumeister. The 03 taking charge of this race. Kenneth McCullough Jr. out front. Joshua McCullough right there behind him, gonna push him through. I think he's gonna be pushing Kenneth up to the front because Kenneth pushed him to the win last week. 05 winning last week's race. 41 also on that outside line, getting a little bit of an offset right there, dropping down a little bit too low. But the 03 dropping down in front of that bottom line, jumping in front of Cody Baumeister. Looks like that inside line has the momentum they need right at the moment. Let's see if that outside line can make it happen. 05 just not able to get up there. He's going to be, woo, that's close side draft in contact with the 92 and the 05. 92 coming up into that middle lane. He's going to be the leader of that middle lane now. With the 03 jumping back up in front of that middle lane. He's blocking pretty hard as we come around for turns 3 and 4. Bottom line, losing a little bit of momentum right there, and as the 05 sees it, he drops back down into that bottom lane. Just not enough to get up in front of the 03 at the moment, Kenneth McCullough Jr. '92 drops in front of the 05. As the 03 tries it, he stops and goes back up to the middle. Just not enough room right there to jump in front of that 92. 92 currently leading the race. John Ward. Oh, real close side draft right there with the 03, almost making contact with that number 92. That's going to put Kenneth McCullough Jr. back up front of this race. Looks like that middle line is forming pretty well. 41 and 4 go outside as the 3 drops down low in front of the 92. And we got an issue with... Looks like Michael Brown. Something happened back there with Michael Brown. Michael Brown, the number 20 I seen go around first. Michael Brown, huge damage on the front of that number 11, unfortunately. I'm hoping he's got a fast repair in his pocket. We also have an issue right there with the number 30 of Carl Lingle. Carl Lingle, smoke coming out of the back of that number 30. Huge damage. A lot of cars involved in that one right there. Let's go ahead and go back to the number 20 and see what happened right there. Was it the number 20 or the number 80? curious. Yeah, I think it was the number 80. Either way, let's go back and take a look. Looks like Dustin Cohen in that number 8 car. Or Dustin Cohen's showing 20 on the car, but 8 on my list. Either way, he was the one that actually went around first. Looks like the 067 sitting right behind the 20 might have been involved in that as well. 067 dropping down low into the middle as they're creating a 3 wide scenario. They're going to be 3 wide with the number 95. 20 comes down on the front nose of the 067, causing an issue right there. 95 jumping down to the bottom of the track. A little bit of right front damage there. The 5 also involved in that. And Brown right there. That's where you see him catch some of that damage at. And back into Brown, into the 77 as well. 77 and 30. 30 smashing the wall hard, almost getting airborne. On top of that, number 20. 5 involved into that second little crash right there as well. 11 goes around. 72 also. Man, the 12. The 12 also got down into the grass. Looks like the 12 might have been trying to avoid that accident. Number 12 of Joseph Essenberg. 20 with huge damage, though. Barely missing the 72. 20 almost hits him, broadsides him right there. That'd have been big damage for the 72, but it didn't happen. Let's go ahead and go back live. See where this all feeds out at. John Ward in the 92 still sitting up front. Joshua McCullough in second, up 17 spots for the day. Craig Robbins in third, James Waring in fourth, and Aubrey Thompson in the fifth. Absolutely incredible crash. We are halfway through this race. By the time it goes green flag, we will only have, I believe, 12 laps left in this race for the Saturday Night Cash. It's still anybody's ball game, but unfortunately, if you took a bunch of damage off of that, you're going to want to get that fixed. You're not going to be very competitive here come to the end of the race. Dustin Cohen currently showing a lap down, same as Keith Haley. Gerard Essenberg, I'm not sure, he may be out of the race. No, he's still sitting in pit lane. I believe taking a bunch of damage as well. As these guys go double file, it's going to be a battle between the 92 and the 05 on the restart here. 95 up behind the 5. 95 of James Waring back up front into the top 5. Aubrey Thompson right there in that 56 of that Wonder Bread car. Still one of my favorite paint schemes of the night. Looks like the 95 of James Waring behind the 05, and the 4 is going to be Craig Robbins up behind the 92. On these restarts, it really depends on the jump you get and the positioning of the person behind you to be able to maintain the speed to get the line moving. So let's see who can get it done better here on this restart. Oh, somebody down on the bottom of the track right there. Alright, looks like they're about to line back up. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the restart zone again. Green flag is going to be on the 92. Green flag. 92 with a nice little jump right there with a partner behind him. 92 jumping to the outside in front of the 05. 05 of Josh McCullough. Number 4 now being pushed by Aubrey in that number 56. 15 sitting right behind them, Shane Hatfield. A little bit of a wiggle coming from that outside line. They're going to have to straighten it up if they want to keep that lead. 92 now jumps to the outside. And that 95 of James Warren getting out of whack a little bit in front of that number 80. He's going to have to be careful with that. Larry McDonald sitting right behind him. 05 jumps to the bottom line with the 4 right behind him. 92 still able to take back the lead with the 95 and the 80 sitting right there. 95 and 80 pushing that 92, keeping him up to the front. 00 now starting to show in. Michael Barksdale looks like he's going to be 4th in line on that outside line, pushing the number 80. 41 now jumping in front of the 05. 41, Dwayne Drummond. That outside line forming really well. Let's see if they drop. It looked like they wanted to drop down below. A little bit of 3 wide action going on in the back right there. As that pack gets away, it looks like the rest of the people had to check up a little bit. But that 4 pack, if they can get together, they can really push it towards the front. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have a race on our hands. As the rest of the pack starts to catch up. That 03 dropping down low to the bottom side. That's going to be McCullough Jr. with his family member right behind him in the 05. That's going to be Joshua McCullough pushing him on that bottom line. Joshua McCullough looking to push Kenneth McCullough back up to the front and keep him up there. He wants him to win this race. Is it going to be a McCullough 1-2 again tonight? '92 gets in line as the 03 and the 05 come out. Aubrey into the wall. Aubrey maintaining it. Great recovery from her. Let's go ahead and see. It looks like Charlie Morgan catching a meatball flag right there. Oh yeah, you see the sparks coming from underneath that 69 Dega Pros Toyota. I think that is gonna be his race, unfortunately. Yeah, that tire is completely sideways. Bunch of wheel damage on that number 69. I think he's already used that fast repair. Let's go back and take a look. Man, he was sitting in the back too. Really hate to see that for Charlie Morgan. Running great all night. He's going to be right behind the number 31 of Daniel Holdcraft. Something happened to Aubrey putting her up in the wall. I think that's what originally caused this. If you look at that Wonder Bread car to your left of the screen there. Let's go. Yeah, it looks like the number 20. Going sideways. Of Cody Baumeister. Oh no. 30 up into the wall super hard. Oh wait, what? No, this is the wrong caution, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. There we go. Let's take a look at Aubrey and see what happened. I was about to say, it didn't look like she got into the wall right there. Making some contact with that Moza Racing 067. 4 wide, coming down the front stretch with the 71, 067, and 4. Aubrey looking like she's maintaining a decent line. Comes up a little bit into the 77. 77 back down into Aubrey in that 56. And then down into the other guys. 067 involved. 71, 56. Oh, 31. Oh, man. That is not good. Aubrey looking like she was able to maintain what was going on. That 69 just clipped that wall back there. Let's go back a little bit. See what happened. 71 comes back up. Watch that full speed. Oh, 69 just... Nobody even... I don't think anybody hit him. I think it was just an overcorrection. 77 taking huge damage on that. Let's go back live. Yeah, it looks like Charlie Morgan's still sitting in the pits, as well as Dustin Cohen in that 08 and the 72 also taking huge damage. I thought it was the 77 actually getting the wall, but it wasn't. It was Joe Conan in that number 72. 20 looks like he's getting back out on the racetrack. Dustin Cohen. That's going to put the McCulloughs at a disadvantage. They are going to be side by side on this restart instead of front to back like they want to be. That's going to put John Ward right there behind Kenneth McCullough Jr. and Larry McDonald in the number 80 up 12 spots. He's going to be sitting on the outside behind Josh McCullough. And I can't believe I was looking at the wrong caution. Once again, huge shout out to the sponsors of this race. Admin Box, helping racing communities stay organized and competitive. Blind Squirrel Racing, built on determination, teamwork, and speed. Raleigh's Resto Rods, where quality craftsmanship and performance come together. And obviously our host tonight, Cash Motorsports. Thank you guys so much for your participation. It wouldn't be possible without all of you. As we're double file, lights are off that pace car. It's going to be a battle to the finish here with only 6 laps remaining after the green flag drops. If you're interested, you always head to the description of the race, and in there is going to be the Discord link. You can come over, join us on Saturday nights for Cash Money Racing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Not a lot of racing to go. Pace car is off the track. These guys are going to head back to the restart zone. It's going to be about being patient, putting yourself in the right spot with the right people behind you. Here we go. Green flag. Huge jump by the 03 on that outside with the number 80 right behind him. 20 coming up behind, pushing Cody Baumeister. They get out of whack a little bit, but they're able to keep a straight line. 05 starting to charge forward with the 92 behind him. 92 of John Ward now moving up. Number 20 jumping to the outside, seeing they can make 3 lanes work. Inside lane, middle lane loses some drivers. They're only going to have 3 cars right there. They're going to have to use that side draft to keep up. We're 4 wide in the back. Oh, one of the McCulloughs out into the wall. That's going to be Josh McCullough falling back. No caution comes out. Josh McCullough in that 05 with huge damage. Three wide back here with the 12, 067 and 04. Aubrey trying to push that number 11 on that outside line of Michael Brown. She's going to be joined by the 71 of Derek Raleigh. Derek Raleigh in the 31. Derek Raleigh dropping back down to that middle line. Aubrey dropping back down to that middle line. Only 2 cars on that outside. They're going to have to jump in and find a place to be. Oh, little wiggle contact right there. Hold it together, boys. 41 making contact with the 80. 067, beautiful checkup. 067 of Justin Smith. Little tap from behind from Aubrey in that 56. Aubrey Thompson pushing hard to try to push that line up front. Double O down below, leading that front line as the 20 and Aubrey jumps in front. They're going to see if they can make that bottom line work to the end of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Huge crash to that outside. Another big crash right there. Derek Raleigh involved, Justin Smith, Michael Brown, Daniel Holdcraft. Justin Smith getting hurt real bad in that. Charlie Morgan with a meatball. Derek Raleigh with a meatball. And Daniel Holdcraft also with a meatball flag. Derek Raleigh having to jump into the pits. Daniel Holdcraft also jumping into the pits. Let's go back and take a look and see what fell apart. Yeah, right there. The 05 getting in the middle. Looks like it might have been a bad push on the 067. Can't be too sure. 067 comes down onto the 31. Justin Smith just barely touching that 31, bringing everybody up into the wall. Derek Raleigh involved in that, having to jump to the pits in that 71. 4 also involved. 05 down into the 20. $15 into the 31. How did that happen? Shane Hatfield involved in this. Shane Hatfield making contact with the number 30, goes up into the 31, pushing the 31 up into the wall. Oh, not what you wanted to see for Shane tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to be a green-white checkered flag. A lot of cars still in pit lane waiting for some repairs to be done. Let's go ahead and take a look and see who had most repairs tonight. Charlie Morgan with 3 minutes, Dustin Cohen with 2 minutes and 34 seconds, Daniel Holcraft 1:49, Derek Raleigh with 1:33. Raleigh still with that meatball flag, which means he does not have a fast repair. That is going to be the second week in a row with a DNF for Derek Raleigh. Daniel Holcraft also still with a meatball flag, and Charlie Morgan with a meatball flag, still sitting in the pits. If those meatballs aren't gone already, that means those guys do not have fast repairs to use. That is going to set them behind pretty heavily as Joe Conan comes out in that number 72. Doesn't look like he has any damage, but he is going to be marked a lap down currently. Let's take a look for the fastest laps. Larry McDonald with the fastest lap of the night, 47.37. Cody Baumeister's 47.55. Justin Smith with a 47.58. Derek Raleigh 47.62, and Craig Robbins with a 47.64. Let's check out our leaders for the night. So far, we've only had 4 leaders in this race, which is crazy to think about, that we've only had 4 people lead laps. Kenneth McCullough Jr. leading the most laps with 14. John Ward with 13. Cody Baumeister with 2. And Charlie Morgan with 1. Absolute astonishing effort by these drivers tonight, putting on a hell of a show for us. 92 and 03 gonna restart us here tonight. The 41 of Dwayne Drummond is back up into the top 5, up 10 spots tonight. James Waring is right there on the outside lane. He's gonna be pushing John Ward in that 92. Let's see who can get the best line. I want to make sure that we finish this under a green flag. These guys are going to have to be patient to do that. Setting yourself up, like I said, in the right spot with the right people is going to be the best bet. Generally, I like running about third. I don't really like running up towards the front. The pressure gets too much to the point that you can lose that lead so fast. But if you're in third, you still have somebody to draft with, and you can move around and be able to take the lead pretty easily. Still a lot of cars on the track, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Raleigh and Charlie Morgan, the only 2 still in the pits. Daniel Holdcraft finally coming out of the pit lane. Not sure what kind of damage is going to be sitting on Daniel Holdcraft's car. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going back to the restart zone, hopefully for the last time tonight. Green flag. Oh, huge checkup already. 41. Oh no. Right off the jump, 41. Going sideways of Dwayne Drummond. Not sure what happened there. Dwayne Drummond blinking out, sitting on the track. I think he might have had technical issues. Yeah, he's full throttle right now. He's gonna blow that engine. While he gets that figured out, let's take a look. He's got the 20 behind him. Let's go to far chase. We can see exactly what happened. What in the world? As he blinks out a couple times, it looked to me like, is his tire turned to the left? He's slamming the brakes. That had to have been a technical issue coming out of the number 41 of Dwayne Drummond. Dwayne Drummond right down into Aubrey in that number 56 Wonderbread car. Few vehicles involved in that one, ladies and gentlemen. The 30, the 00 also involved. Yeah, he blinked out a couple times. The 05 of Joshua McCullough involved. Dwayne Drummond jumping to the pits finally. 41 with heavy damage. Doesn't look like the 05 took too much damage off of that. Really unfortunate to have a technical issue right on the restart like that. That's going to be also, looks like Dustin Cohen catching a black flag coming onto pit lane. A lot of cars still in the pits. Michael Barksdale, Justin Smith, Josh McCullough, Dustin Cohen, Dwayne Drummond, Derek Raleigh, and Charlie Morgan all still in pit lane. Looks like Justin Smith now coming out of pit lane. And Michael Barksdale also coming out. Josh McCullough still getting some of that damage fixed. He's got a little while before he has to get back up to the pack. Let's take a look at the number 92 for a moment. Check out his lap chart. Looks like he's been up in the front most of the day. Incredible job by that number 92 of John Ward. Just maintaining that front side. Let's take a look at Kenneth McCullough Jr. as well. Kenneth McCullough Jr. dropping back a little bit, but for the most part, he has been on the front line for the last at least, I want to say 20 laps almost. Aubrey Thompson in the 56, not taking too much damage. She's going to be right up behind McCullough Jr. McCullough Jr. is going to be on that outside line. Number 95 of James Waring making his presence known up front for most of the night. He's going to be up behind the 92 of John Ward. Little bit of damage on that 56 Wonderbread Dark Horse Mustang, actually. Some right front damage, looks like fender damage. It's going to be hard to push with that arrow messed up. Another battle between the 92 and the 03. They've been doing a great job of maintaining that front line so far in this race. Let's see what they can do, hopefully, on this final restart here at Talladega for Saturday Night Cash. Pace car off the track, ladies and gentlemen. We're heading back to the restart zone. Green flag gonna be on the 92. Green flag is out. All these guys gotta do is maintain it for one whole lap, and then we will have a white flag on the track. No matter what happens after that white flag, it's gonna come down to guts and glory. Both lines staying neck and neck. Middle line just barely edging out. Kenneth McCullough Jr. stepping out with Aubrey right behind him. Number 80 pushing that number 56. 03 dives down low in front of the 92. That's going to put Aubrey in front of that outside line with the number 80 pushing number 80 of Larry McDonald. Oh, and there goes some cars down low. All we had to do was cross that finish line, but we could not get it done, unfortunately. I think that's going to involve Michael Brown again. Joseph Assenberg having to jump out back to the pits. Let's take a look with him, see what happened. I'm not quite sure. Oh, right there with the number 12. Number 12 down into the number 11. Neither one came back up on the track. Number 11 of Michael Brown. Then Joseph Essenberg jumping to the pits. It doesn't look like he had a whole lot of damage, though. Let's take a look from the rear view and see what happened right there. Let's go. Nope, not the view I wanted. Take a look full speed. Oh, number 12 gets turned down into the 11 by the 05, it looks like, with an offset push. Oh, number 11 barely missing that wall right there. Incredible. That was absolutely incredible. I cannot believe he missed that wall. Going back live, it looks like Joseph Essenberg in the pits. Michael Brown also in the pits, as well as Dustin Cohen, Joseph Essenberg, Dwayne Drummond still in the pits, as well as Derek Raleigh and Charlie Morgan. Some of these cars got a good amount of damage. That's really going to take them out of contention to be able to push hard to get up past the other vehicles. Our restart to the top 5 is going to be Kenneth McCullough Jr., James Waring, Cody Baumeister, Aubrey Thompson, and Larry McDonald. Let's take a look at some of our biggest movers for the night. Carl Lingle is going to be up 18 spots currently Up into 6th place, Ambrose Nebel up 15 spots, currently in 7th. Larry McDonald up 12 spots in 4th. Joshua McCullough up 9 spots in 10th. And Daniel Holcraft up 8 spots in 13th. As we look at some of these pit stops, looks like Kenneth McCullough having the most on his tires. Oh no, James Warren got 28 laps on his tires. Right behind him, Coney Baumeister, 22 laps. Aubrey Thompson with 15. 28 from Larry McDonald as well. Now these are laps since they've pitted. So it looks like James Waring, Larry McDonald, and Shane Hatfield all have 29 laps on their tires. Everybody else is going to have a little bit of a fresher tire than them. Josh McCullough coming out with fresh tires. Or no, looks like Josh McCullough only fuel. A lot of these guys only fuel. 4 tires for Ambrose Nebel. Dustin Cohen, Daniel Holdcraft, and Michael Brown all with repairs. So this time it's actually going to be the 95 of James Waring up on the, probably be on the outside of the 03 of Kenneth McCullough Jr. Kenneth McCullough Jr. with another restart here tonight. Still seeing some damage on that car behind him of Aubrey Thompson in that 56 Wonderbred Mustang. Might have a little bit of a difficult time getting up to the back of the 03 for a good push. Number 20 sitting behind the 95. 20 of Cody Baumeister. They might have the advantage. Here we go. Restart zone. Green flag. Like I said, these guys just have to make it through one lap to bring out that white flag. Huge jump for the 03 and 56. Not at a disadvantage like I thought they would be. Number 30 resting right up behind him. He's going to... Carl Linger jumping to the inside right there. He's going to have to let them cars catch up from behind before he can start making moves. 56.03 currently leading this race. 30 into the wall. Bunch of cars into the wall. No caution. No caution comes out after that huge crash coming out of the backstretch right there. Carl Lingle jumping to the pits. Not what we wanted to see for that number 30. Hard push to the front right here by the 03, 56, and 05. As we already know, the 03 and 05, they're going to be pushing each other hard. As we see Aubrey starting to fall back with some of that damage right there. Probably wasn't a good idea to get from in between them. She should have stayed up in between them and made them push her. But the 05 with a bunch of damage. Huge lead for the 03 coming around for the last lap of the checkered flag. Last turns right here. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As the 03 slows down and lets the 05 pass him. That was a little strange. Looks like it's going to be a joint burnout right here. 03 taking this race home. Congratulations to Kenneth McCullough Jr. Second podium this week for 2 weeks in a row. Aubrey Thompson and Josh McCullough, all your podium drivers here tonight. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. We'll be right back with your driver interviews. And we are back with your podium drivers. Thank you again for everybody that showed up tonight's race. Thank you to all the drivers, all the sponsors, and of course, Cash Money Motorsports for putting this on tonight. Obviously, we are going to go ahead and start off with our winner tonight, Kenneth McCullough Jr., getting pushed to the front. Last week, we seen you with a podium. This week, we see you with a checkered flag. Amazing job. I imagined that Josh was going to push you up to the front and try to get you a win this week, and that's certainly exactly what happened. Congratulations to you. Walk us through what happened tonight.
Let's go. That race was fun. Yeah, overall, I forgot to pit there. I was talking to somebody in Discord there, one of them pit stops, and so I was short and I was on a different fuel strategy than them. So that kind of helped me out at the end. But gotta thank Aubrey there. Aubrey's my buddy and he stuck with me. I knew he wasn't gonna do anything there to jeopardize me and him. So I know Josh was sitting back there in third, and if we'd had another lap there, Josh was probably gonna try to take his right rear. So but man, awesome race. That was a blast.
Well, congratulations and amazing job tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Definitely got to thank Aubrey for sure. Like I owe him one big time there. Been working with Aubrey for many, many years. Look at him as a good friend, and we've helped each other get wins over the years. And thank my teammates, and thank Derek for putting this thing on. And appreciate y'all doing the broadcast.
Absolutely, no problem at all. Thank you guys for putting on a hell of a show tonight, as you guys did last week as well. We look forward to seeing you guys on the podium many more times.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir. As we move on to our second place driver, I do have to apologize to Aubrey Thompson in that number 56. I incorrectly assumed that you were a girl, and
it's not the first time. Don't worry.
I apologize. So throughout the whole broadcast, I was saying her. I did not mean to say that, and I will give you a hell of a lot of credit for doing an amazing job out there tonight, man. Congratulations on a podium here tonight for Saturday Night Cash, and I appreciate the hell of an effort that you put in to try to get up to the podium. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I know I'm pretty sure I had a lot of front end damage. My damage button won't working, so it won't tell me nothing. But I'm pretty sure I did. But I appreciate do what?
You did. You did have a bunch of front
Yeah,
end
I
damage.
thought I did. I know I didn't have no wheel damage, so that's the only reason I stayed out. I just didn't know how bad it was. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you did a great job, even with the damage on that last restart. Huge jump for you guys. Huge crash in the back that took out a bunch of drivers. No caution actually came out. So I was actually surprised to see no caution. But either way, you guys pulled through to the end, caught the checkered flag for a podium. Just amazing job.
Yeah, I think what saved me was that we run out of time because I know Josh was gonna get me if we didn't. But I just I tell Kenny go win, man. I mean, I told him go up top, and he knows I'll stick with him. He knows I ain't gonna do him dirty.
Well, it's always good to have teammates like that behind you when you're coming to the end, because a lot of people, even my team knows that, hey, we are not teammates on the last lap when it comes to the
Nah, I
finish
know
line.
that. Me and Kenny's been racing for so long together. I'm not. I mean, I can't do him like that.
Well, you're a good friend, and congratulations on your podium finish, man. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
Just thank y'all for the broadcast, and thank Derek for putting the race on. It was fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you out here again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Last but never least, Josh McCullough, last week's winner in that 05, up 16 spots today. Congratulations on your podium finish once again this week, Josh. Walk us through what happened.
Uh, I was caught up in a lot of wrecks. Had to take my fast repair, and got caught up in another wreck that gave me about a minute of damage. But I was able to fly my way back up there through the middle, and I didn't know we only had that one lap, so I'm kind of blowed about that. I wanted to take Aubrey's right rear and then try to hang my dad out and possibly get another win, but it don't work like that all the time.
Well, either way, I think in all honesty, you owed him the win this week for pushing you to the win last week. But hey, like I said, once it comes to the finish line, all bets are off. When you're looking at a checkered flag in front of you, yeah, I don't blame you whatsoever. Congratulations on your podium either way.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's race?
I want to give a shout out to Aubrey for helping my dad get that win. Shout out to you for doing the broadcast, and shout out to Derek for putting these races on.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you all so much for coming out and putting on a hell of a show. We really appreciate it. And it's awesome to watch from the booth. We enjoy being here. And thank you to all the fans. Thank you to everybody that shows up, all the sponsors that help make this possible, and obviously Cash Motorsports for putting this thing on for everybody. Once again, we will see you next time here at Cash Motorsports for the next Saturday Night Cash. See you next time.